All right, again, from Darwin to DNA, let's take a look at this. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Um, I've been on the atheist evolution and abiogenesis track for some times. I bring them together because they fit together. The atheists, at least the internet atheists, they lump them together. So I'm doing a diagnosis of them. Again, this is Dr. Dan Mason, PhD. I'm doing a forensic examination of the study of abiogenesis and evolution. I'm not a biologist, but the main scope of this is taking the evidence and seeing where it leads. All right. From Darwin to DNA. So we go from Darwin, the 1800s, to DNA, 2026, and so forth. What has come about? What is going on? What are they saying then? What have they said then? What are they saying now? And how they fit together? All right, a forensic system audit of evolutionary mechanism. That's what I'm doing. Keywords: evolutionary theory, system biology, information theory, scientific method, fossil record. What do we have to show for all the millions of years, all the money spent? They say that we evolved from less than a tadpole to this human form now. Where are the body plans? Where are the information stored and converted? Where is the mutation that has gotten us here? We mutated up. We failed up the chain of life, the tree of life. All right. This live stream, this video evaluates evolutionary theory as a scientific explanatory program using standards derived from criminal investigations. That's where I'm taking it from. I'm looking for the evidence, not your hearsay, not your speculative narrative, not your imaginary track or tree of life. We want to see, we want to hear, we want to know it. System engineering and public policy programs evaluation. Because these people taking these imaginary processes and they're making laws, they establish institutions, and they're framing what life is. And I'm challenging that as best I could. This study does not address metaphysical interpretations, but tests whether Darwinism and post-Darwinism mechanisms meet core scientific criteria: falsifiability, predictive validity, mechanism verification, and experimental replication. Do they meet these standards? This analysis demonstrates that, this is my conclusion, that although evolutionary narratives have expanded through neo-Darwinism, they say, well, we're always learning. Yeah, but you're telling the same stories. Molecular evolution and developmental biology. No experimentally verified mechanism has been shown to construct new integrated biological systems through blind mutation and selection. So they are telling you, and listen to their words, they are telling you that something that is cannot think of the process, is reacting to nature. That in it and of itself is thinking. You touch me, I react, I learn how to defend you from touching me. I am thinking, I am processing. It has not ever been shown, and it could not be shown, that this ever takes place. All right. Persistent fossil, they discontinue the digital coding architecture of DNA, and the complexity of molecular mechanisms, machines, remain unresolved structural limitations within the evolutionary framework. So, introduction. That was my introduction. Darwin admitted structural vulnerabilities. Evolutionary theory proposes that random mutation filtered by natural selection is sufficient to construct the full structure of biological life, the body plan. That's what they're saying. While widely taught as settled science, as you reach out to explain to people on the internet or in conferences, in conferences and in institutions, they are gatekeepers. You don't get in. You don't get to bring any outside ideas. But therefore, you go to, this is a public place. This is the public center where we can stand on our soapbox and proclaim what we think, what we believe, and we get back feedback from others. This is what we're doing. While widely taught as settled science, the theory functions primarily as a historical, explanatory framework rather than as a mechanism verified through engineering models. The scientific method requires defined causal mechanisms that are repeatable and tested, and they are falsifiable and they're predictable. Someone else can take the same information and replicate it in their labs, in their life, in their, it could be Russia, China, Venezuela, wherever you want to go. You can take this information and you can apply it somewhere and prove me right or prove me wrong. So this video evaluates whether this evolutionary theory meets those standards when audited through the disciplines of and methods of criminal justice, system analysis, and public policy program evaluation. I'd like to point out Darwin admitted structural vulnerabilities. And we keep going back to this because this is where it started. They want to tell you, oh, stop looking at this. We'll move so far past Darwin. Now, Darwin is he's your Moses. He planted the flag, and we're going to go back to what he said and how far we have come or not. Darwin acknowledged critical weaknesses in his original model. He admitted difficulty explaining the function and the formation of complex integrated systems. He says, to suppose that the eye, with all its immutable contrivances, could have been formed by natural selection seems, I freely confess, observed in the highest degree. Darwin 1859, page 186. So, even at the beginning, he saw the flaw, which they only gloss over in this time period. They do not address it. They gloss over it. They show you that a lower form, well, he had this, but the mechanism to get from one-eyed creature or a creature with less developed eyes to the human is magical, is guesswork, and that's all they're doing. He also identified missing transitional fossils as a major vulnerability. Geology, he says, certainly does not reveal any such finely graduated organic chain. Darwin, 1859, page 280. So Darwin predicted that later fossil discoveries would solve this. That's what he believed. He couldn't find it. They didn't have it at that time. And we still don't have it today. All right, fossil record evaluation.
Let's go. Angel, this one's for you, baby.
So we got the molecular biology and information constraints. More than a century of paleontology investigations have not produced Darwin's predicted continuity. Gall, 1977, reported that fossil species commonly display stasis and abrupt appearances. Others concluded that Fossil's data do not support Darwin's predictions of gradual information. These findings present a standing challenge to the theory's fundamental purpose. It's not in the records, no matter what they tell you. They see a steady incline of creatures going up to man. No intermarry, nothing in between, nothing to give a solid, and those are the gaps, and they call us the God of the gap theory. No, they are systematic from one creature to the next. There is no infilling. There is no growth. There is no 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell, 5 cell. They are missing because God never created them. Neo-Darwinism and neutral theory. The discovery of DNA reframed biology as a digital information system. DNA contains some symbolic coding, translation, machinery, and error-correcting mechanism consistent with engineered communications system. Crick, 1973, acknowledged that the genetic code presents severe difficulties for spontaneous origin models. Shannon's 1948 information theory demonstrated that noise degrades information rather than generates code, establishing a mathematical constraint on mutation-driven information. You cannot fail your way up to human. You can degrade, but still be within kind. But now we have the power as an intelligent, superior being to take DNA and to put it into plant and to put it into other lower animals. But that shows you intelligence is needed. Intelligence was needed in the beginning. Intelligence is needed now.
Angel, this one's for you, baby. Yeah.
Developmental constraints and the Evo-Devo. The modern synthesis integrated genetics with natural selection. However, Chamorro's 1968 neutral theory later reduced the causal role of selection by proposing that most molecular change results from random drift, further weakening Darwin's original engine. You don't get this taught in school because they don't give the students the red hat, black hat, white hat, challenge to go after Darwin. It is set. This is their religion. You don't get to question it. To do so, you lose your credentials, you lose your position, you won't even be able to apply for it. Laboratory evidence audit. Developmental biology has revealed regulatory architectures that can constrain evolutionary pathways. Carl, 2005, documented that key evolutionary variations often occurs in regulatory regions rather than protein coding genes, limiting the scope of random mutations. So there again, as science progresses, true science, we see the impossibility, the magic that you need to have to get from one species to another. That is not there. This is not natural selection, as they put it. And I'll do another video on that. And hopefully as I go, I get better at presenting. But bear with me if you will. All right, scientific method compliance. Experimental observation consistently demonstrates modifications or loss of existing function rather than blind construction of new integrated molecular systems. Linsky et al. 2008 documented regulatory changes in E. coli, but did not demonstrate the blind generations of new molecular machines. I'm gonna have to practice that word.
Yeah. Hey, let's
But
go.
do you get it?
Angel.
Again, 2008. This is not
Yeah.
1800s. We are still using science, but they are still, even if they do this, even if they find these doubts, they will not admit, because it's their religion. It is entrenched in their belief system. This had to have happened. As they have said many times, abiogenesis had to happen at least once because we're here. They tell you that. That is their religion. That is their faith. Program evaluation framework. Evolutionary theory increasingly relies on auxiliary hypotheses to accommodate conflicting data. Popper, 1974, characterized Darwinism as a metaphysical research program due to its limitations in falsifiability, a concern that remains structurally relevant. They have not moved forward at all. It is still a metaphysical project. They think they have the Holy Grail. It's just crayons, a bunch of dirt. Conclusion. Applying public policy evaluation standards reveal unresolved deficiencies in mechanism verification, predictive performance, and controlled replication. Evolutionary theory operates primarily as a historical narrative framework rather than a verified causal construction model. We did not come from snails, and we did not come from tadpoles. We have no monkey cousin. All that was built from the ground up. Intelligent designed it, and we are going to go after it, and we're going to do our best to bring it out. So, from Darwin to DNA, fossil discontinues the physical genetic codes and the genes at the molecular level, complexity persists as unresolved empirical challenges. The evolutionary program continues to expand investigative, interpretive scopes without delivering validated, constructed mechanism, leaving its foundational causal claims unverified. Like I said, as I get more relaxed, I'll do better videos. Until then, I'm not stopping. I enjoy your jokes and your comment. God bless you, and keep holding on.